Star Wars fans, could Grogu be the next Iron Man? With rumors of IG-11 returning in The Mandalorian Season 3 with a compartment in his chest to store Grogu, and Grogu can control him like Iron Man, could Grogu be the next Iron Man? This is insane, so let's get right into all of it right now. What's up guys, Mike, a guy who loves Star Wars here. So today we're talking about Grogu being the next Iron Man and IG returning in The Mandalorian Season 3. So we know that IG-11 met his doom in Mando Season 1 at the very end in the finale when he sacrifices his life to protect Grogu and Din. Through the first season of The Mandalorian, IG-11 became a fan favorite right away, being the voice of Taika Waititi, who's the director for some of the Mando episodes and the director of Thor Ragnarok. He is a fan favorite in himself. And just the way that IG moved around, he was a bounty hunting droid, it was cool. And it's a callback to IG-88, who was in The Empire Strikes Back when Darth Vader's trying to find a bounty hunter to find Han Solo. He ends up with Boba Fett, but IG-88 is one of those droids that is in the lineup. Fun fact, IG-88 actually couldn't move, he was nailed to the ground, so having IG-11 doing all these cool tricks and stuff in The Mandalorian Season 1 was a huge step from the original concept in The Empire Strikes Back. But at the end of Mandalorian Season 1, when he sacrificed himself to save everybody, this was not the last time we saw him. In Mando Season 2, we see a statue of IG-11, which we can only assume is the parts of IG-11 that survived in the town in Navarro. So if somebody went around and picked up IG's parts, why can't he come back? Why not? And if he does come back, if IG-11 does come back in The Mandalorian Season 3, then you can draw a direct line to Grogu becoming Iron Man. Because why not? So these reports aren't like, oh, IG-11's coming back in The Mandalorian Season 3. Yay! No. They're like, IG-11's coming back and Grogu's going to be inside of him, using him like an Iron Man suit. On the surface, this sounds like just a joke and it sounds like a stupid idea, but if you actually think about it, if they go into battle and Din Djarin pulls out the Darksaber, and then you have Grogu rolling in inside of IG-11, doing all the cool shooting stuff that we saw in The Mandalorian Season 1, this would be some epic fight scenes in Mando Season 3, and what we can assume in Mando Season 3 is going to happen is him and Bo-Katan and Grogu and all these people are going to go back and take back Mandalore from the Empire who came and took it right after Order 66. They're going to take back Mandalore. So what if Bo-Katan, all the Mandalorians they can find, Din wielding the Darksaber and Grogu wielding the IG-11 roll up to Mandalore and take it back from the Empire, the remnants of the Empire? That would be so cool. Unbelievably cool. So not only is Grogu going to just be sitting in IG-11, he's going to be encased in Beskar. They're going to do some upgrades to IG's suit itself and give him some Beskar armor to protect Grogu at all costs. This will also continue the story that Din Djarin has with droids. I don't even know if you remember this, but back in Episode 1 of Season 1 of The Mandalorian, he wouldn't even take the speeder that had a droid controlling it. He's so anti-droids at the beginning of the show because, of course, what happened to him when he became a foundling, when the droids came in and attacked his planet and killed probably all of his family and his parents, and then the Mandalorians came, saved the day, and took him, and he became a foundling. So immediately, right off the bat in Mando Season 1, we know that Din Djarin has a huge problem with droids. He doesn't like droids, whatever. But by the end of Mando Season 1, when IG-11 sacrifices himself to save him and Grogu, he kind of has a new feeling for droids. And it even develops even more in Mando Season 2. And then now in the Book of Boba Fett, he's talking to BD-1, the BD-1 droid that we saw in the Book of Boba Fett in the episode where he's building the N-1 starfighter. He's actually saying, good job, buddy. And he's like giving him fist bumps. He's like, we cool now. We cool with droids. But this would take it to a whole nother level. He's actually trusting a droid to put Grogu inside of the droid. He trusts droids so much now that his most precious thing on earth, Grogu, the child himself, he is willing to put in a droid to protect him. So the story with Din Djarin and droids has come full circle from where he didn't trust them at all. At the beginning of Season 1, Episode 1 of The Mandalorian, he wouldn't even get in a speeder that was controlled by a droid because he didn't trust them that much, to the point where he will put the thing he loves most inside a droid to protect it. It's really come full circle for Din Djarin's story with droids. So it's really not just a fun, silly little thing putting Grogu inside of IG-11 as like an Iron Man. It's actually a full circle for Din Djarin's story with droids. It protects Grogu. It gives Grogu a chance to actually run around, walk around, do whatever, because he's still so small and he can't really fight really all that much, because when he uses the Force, he gets too tired because he's still too little, and all this crazy stuff. It actually gives Grogu the chance to actually be in the battles now. From Mando Season 1 to Mando Season 2 to even the Book of Boba Fett, Grogu's just been sitting in the background, and he would come in every once in a while and use the Force, but in the battle scenes, he was never really in them. Now he's going to be rocking inside of IG-11 in the battles. And he's going to be like Iron Man. It's going to be like Iron Man, where he's going to be talking to IG like Tony Stark talks to Jarvis, and he's going to be saying all this stuff, and he's going to be talking back to him, and we're probably going to even get shots like we saw of RDJ in the Iron Man suit, but Grogu in the Iron Man suit, and he's just going to be looking around like, do-do-do-do-do. They're just coming up with more and more ways for us to fall in love with Grogu. I mean, it's every time he looks at the camera, or he looks around, and every time he walked out in the Book of Boba Fett, when he was just like, doom, 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 doom. Like, this is just the greatest thing ever. Anything with Grogu just walking around is so cool. His legs are covered by his like robe or whatever the hell he's been wearing for like 7 years now, and he's just walking around, just waddling like do 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 do. It's the cutest thing ever, and it's awesome. And you know he means business, because he's just waddling, and then he's like, I'm gonna use the Force on you. You're probably gonna die, or I'm probably gonna tame you, or do whatever, and you're just done. Once you see the waddle, it's all over. See that Grogu waddle? It's over. So tell me what you think in the comments below. Do you think that we will actually see Grogu be the next Iron Man, sitting in the chest of IG-11, a rebuilt IG-11, by the way, because he hasn't been here since The Mandalorian Season 1. We did see a statue of him in The Mandalorian Season 2, but that was really whatever. But tell me in the comments below, do you think we'll actually see this? Because it's kind of crazy, but when you actually think about it, it's not that crazy, so tell me what you think in the comments below. Smash like if you like this video, hit subscribe, and hit that bell so you get notified every time I post a video, and my pretty face will show up in your recommended feed. Mandalorian could be here as soon as the end of this year or early next year. So we could be seeing if Grogu is the next Iron Man in IG's chest by the end of this year or early next year. So, I mean, it's going to be very soon, and I can't wait. And may the Force be with you always.